In this video, I'm going to be talking about the differences between bifocals, trifocals, and progressives. So you've probably heard these terms talked about before when you talk to your local eye care professional, optometrist, or ophthalmologist about different options you can have placed inside your glasses to help you read better up close, because that's who these lenses are basically made for. It's for those that have difficulty to accommodate your eye's ability to read up close into lenses inside your eyes to focus a little bit more to see things better with a little bit more clarity. The human lens has a hard time reading up close when you hit about the age of 40 or so. And once you get beyond 40, that's when things kind of take a turn for the worse as far as anything up close, which is where reading glasses come into the fold, which is where bifocals, trifocals, progressives, anything like that. One of the forefront leaders of this at the time was in fact actually Benjamin Franklin, who came up with the original concept and idea of bifocals, specifically called the executive bifocal. So bifocal, I keep talking about that word. What does that mean? So bi referring to two, focal meaning what you can focus on basically. So when you fabricate a pair of glasses like what we do, we make the glasses prescription according to the doctor's prescription, and with what the eye doctor determines is the necessary prescription power to see well in the distance, but also see well up close. So you have your distance prescription, which can include farsightedness, nearsightedness, astigmatism, different varieties of refractive errors like that. You can also have a prescription that you might need to read up close if your eye focusing system, the accommodative system, is not that great. If you have a hard time reading, you need to hunt for those readers to read anything up close. The bifocal has a component that not only allows you to see far away in the distance, but also allows you to take your phone and read it up close, basically, or books, anything of that nature that you're trying to read up close with. So that's where the bi comes in. You have distance prescription, you also have your up close reading prescription through the bottom of the lens. Now, the bifocal itself can be made in a variety of ways. You can have what's called a lined bifocal. Specifically, our industry uses a lot of things called flat top 28 or flat top 35, depending on the segment height, how tall and how wide the actual zone in which you're reading through actually is. You can also have something called an executive bifocal. You heard me mention that a few minutes ago, which is the entire bottom portion of the lens that gives you clear vision. This is what was done originally to fabricate bifocal glasses prescription lenses. Let's say you don't have much need for prescription lenses in the distance. Like your distance is great, no issues with that at all, but you're having a really hard time reading up close. You're trying to read the menus out at the restaurants, anything like that. That's where bifocals are going to help you. And your eye care professional can help determine what level of power prescription you're going to need in order to get you reading better up close through the bifocal. Bifocals also work really well for folks who have vertigo or balance or dizziness issues. Sometimes some people need two separate prescriptions, various things like that that I typically run into on a day-to-day basis. Now there's something else called a trifocal. What is a trifocal? Tri referring to three and focal referring to your focal distance in reading up close basically. So with tri, you've got three windows you can look through. You still have the distance prescription, which can be minimal or can be significant depending on what you can see far away or what you cannot see far away. Farsightedness, nearsightedness, astigmatism. That's to the top of the glasses. Now, there is also a little intermediate window before you get to the bottom window. So for bifocals, you've just got one little window down here. In trifocals, you got two windows. So there can be a little intermediate window that's good for like computer screen distances, dashboard on your car distances, cutting food type of distances, like if it's a 2 foot in front of you basically. More intermediate arm's reach length distances. Then you have a window at the bottom that's going to be best for reading anything up close, like books, phones, different things like that. So with trifocals, you got three things: distance, intermediate, and up close reading, which can help a lot of folks, and a lot of people still prefer the trifocal prescription. Now you've also got something that's called a progressive. How a progressive works is it's actually blended all into one magnifying power basically. So let's say that your reading power is determined by your eye doctor, and with progressives, a lot of people like them because you can't see what they're doing from the outside looking in, but it still gives you that magnifying window for up close as well as intermediate. It functions a lot like a trifocal, except instead of specific line designated windows, you're actually able to kind of move your eyes up and down to see those various distances and to get clear vision with it. Some people don't like progressives because you oftentimes have to turn your nose when you're reading something, like say I'm holding a book here and I'm turning to kind of read like with my nose like this. You have to point with your nose when you read instead of just glance your eyes back and forth. Some people don't like that. Some people do like that. It just depends on your preference. Progressive lenses are also called progressive addition lenses, or PALs. And a lot of times progressives work well for people. Other times they don't work well. And this is where you have the conversation with your eye care professional about if bifocals, if trifocals, if progressives, if a reading prescription, if multiple prescriptions work best for you to get you reading best up close and to look far away. So let's say you're working in a cubicle at an office. You might want to talk to your eye care professional about that specific circumstance, because let's say you have a reading prescription that your computer up close, as well as anything you read up close, like a keyboard, is phenomenal, but you need to see your colleague a couple cubicles away to ask him a question. You want to make sure he's there. You look up. Oh, you can't read. You can't see him or her because that top portion is just made for the computer distance or the up close reading distance, which would require a distance prescription to see several meters away. That's what I mean by it's important to talk about these specific scenarios. Or if you're a mechanic working under a car where everything you're looking at underneath the vehicle is a few feet away from you, and you need to have that clear, but you also need to see stuff up close for what kind of metrics you're using and for the different wrenches and tools and things that you need to see that clearly. So there's a variety of lifestyle factors to consider with all of this. A lot of times people will confuse progressives with transitions because they kind of sound similar. So what are transitions? And I can go into this on another video, but basically transitions are what happens when you step outside and the lenses in your glasses turn dark, basically. It's almost like photochromic lenses, also known as transitions. So transitions and progressive lenses are two very different animals, where transitions can help someone if they have light sensitivity, if they don't want to have to change to a separate sunglasses prescription to step outside, but actually have it all transition and change in one. And as a little trivia fun fact, in case you want to know, transition lenses typically work better in the wintertime or in more dry, cold environments than in the summer where it's kind of more warm and moist, basically. So you may notice some differences with how your transition lenses work at different times of the year, depending on what your weather conditions are like. And with those different prescription levels in mind, extremely important to know what's going to work best for you. Is it bifocals? Is it trifocals? Is it progressives? Is it something else? Is it just reading glasses? Because there's a lot of different options you can consider, and it's important to talk to your eye care professional about what option is right for you. It's amazing the technology that's used in these lenses to make them up to get you seeing the distance as well as intermediate as well as up close. So what I do, I'm currently just in single vision lenses because I just have an astigmatism that I need to use to see far away, up close, and intermediate, that in bifocals and progressives and trifocals, I'll get there, but I'm not quite there yet. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell for notifications and to learn more about your eyes. I'm Dr. Bryce Heffington, and I'll see you next time.